playing with me. Look into my eyes, do it look like you playing me? This is ain't let me thinking that you could ever get over on me. I'm a rebel of this game, so ain't no rules if he binding me. Y'all a felon in this industry. Y'all misdemeanor, tell me smart, I'm new.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your man, the incomparable next icon. This is me, back in the building, ready to rock and roll. Today is Monday, March 7th, I do believe, and we are back. I did have to take a little break out last week because one, I was on vacation. Two, I had some filming to do, and I am back live and direct. So we gonna get this party started. So we're gonna start off with what I was doing while I was out. If anybody was aware, on February 26th, I did a spoken word session at the Raspberry and Chocolate Affair, courtesy of Miss Vivian Dinkins Stitt, and I want to thank her for that opportunity. I did 6 pieces, got to attend a fashion show, got to promote some of my poetry because I don't know if a lot of you knew this, but I also write books. I have 2 poetry books, and I got to perform some of the poetry from some of my books, a couple of original pieces. I even actually did a freestyle poem. So, yeah, that was interesting. I've also taken some time out. Again, as I said, I was filming. We finished production on a film called 140 Minutes by Mr. Michael Simmons. And if you're not familiar with Michael Simmons, he is the gentleman that um, put together the sitcom that I was in called Jared, as well as a few other projects that I was a part of, such as Pimps by Nature, Geek Monsters. There's a few others. Um, so we wrapped that this weekend. I also started another project. I'm trying to learn this TikTok thing. So if anybody understands TikTok and want to help me out and explain a little bit more to me about it, please feel free because I'm still trying to figure out how it works, what to do with it. But I did because like I can't just do just random videos. Everything has to have a purpose for me. It has to be do something. So what I did is I started an interactive series called So It's On. And I'm actually, as of right now, I'm actually playing every single character. And I think I've created 4 or 5 people in this little series that I'm working on, but I am expanding it to include other people. So if you would like to be a part of it, please send your information um, to here, the ICON Chronicles at gmail.com, and I will follow up with you on a scene. Now, understand this is completely improv, there is no script. So if you have an idea, if you watch all 4 episodes, and if you have an idea for one of the characters for which way that they could go, shoot me an idea. I'm open to virtually any idea as long as it's not immoral. But take a look at all 4 episodes. Again, it's on TikTok. Link up with me on TikTok at Next Icon. Check out So It's On all 4 videos. It has been doing pretty good. My first episode only got 27 views, but somebody viewed it. 27 people viewed it. The second episode got me 143 views. The third episode got me 110, and shockingly, surprisingly to me, I didn't see this coming. The fourth episode actually picked up 225 viewers. So I want to keep this going for as long as possible because right now it's fun to me, and I'm learning TikTok. So if you want to be a part of it, please check out the 4 episodes. Shoot me some ideas. To actually, if you don't send it to the Icon Chronicles at gmail.com, send it to Next Icon at gmail.com. That's NXICON at gmail.com if you want to be a part of So It's On. It's open to anybody. So if you write a scene that fits in there, you get credit for writing. If you act in it, you get credit for acting. So This is a good opportunity for anybody that wants to get into acting or get into writing because this is, like I said, this is to me, this is interactive. It's open to anybody. I'm not close-minding myself to any ideas for any of the characters because this is being made up as I go. All right. So I don't know if anybody's doing anything like that, but this is completely as I go. As I come up with an idea, I put it together and I run it. What else is there? I did release a new single yesterday. It's actually one of my spoken word performances set to music. It's called No Hesitation. It was released on Reverb Nation. So you can go to reverbnation.com/next icon and you can check out No Hesitation as well as some of my other music. I will be releasing a new single on DistroKid called Stay. So I'm looking forward to that. So stay tuned for that. That will be released on March 30th or March 31st. I think I put the 30th. Whatever the last day of March is, that's the day that is going to be released. Um, in other news, Next Icon Radio is going to be getting a reboot. So if you are an independent artist, musically, even poetically, if you are an artist and you have music, if you have spoken word that you have recorded and would like to be heard, this is your opportunity to be heard. I did Next Icon Radio back in the day, and I had a whole gang of independent music from a lot of great talent from around the country and around the world. If you're wondering what type of music it is that I will be playing, whatever you send me, it is not on me to judge. I am not going to be that kind of DJ. If you send me the music, that means that you consider yourself worthy enough to be played and worthy enough to be heard. It is not on me to decide whether your music is good or bad or not. That is up to the people that listen to it. My job as a DJ on Next Icon Radio is to play your music. I don't have to like it. My opinion does not matter. So if you have music, if you have poetry, spoken word, and you want it to be heard, send your music or your poetry to nexticon@gmail.com because right now I do not have an email address set up for Next Icon Radio. But when I do, it will be, if it is available, it will be nexticonradio@gmail.com. But for the time being, if you any music or anything that you have, then please send who you are. Don't just send your music. Send me like a press kit of who you are, where you're from, how long you've been doing this. Send me whatever information about you that you have. Don't just send music. That is very, very unprofessional. Also, make sure that your music is copyrighted. Make sure that it's copyrighted before you send it to me. Those two are prime requirements. Make sure that you send me more than just the music. I need to know who you are, what you're about. I need to know these things. In case somebody asks me, I need to be able to answer these questions. I need to be able to direct them to you if they have questions. So please don't just send music. Send whatever you have that pertains to you. Again, make sure that it is copyrighted. Make sure that it's copyrighted. Also, third thing, independent. You are unsigned. Unsigned. Unsigned independent artists that want to be heard. This is your avenue right here. Again, there will be a small fee. And yo, don't get it twisted. I ain't trying to rob nobody. It's going to be for your music to be played. And as long as everything is together when you send it to me, $5. $5 per song to get your music played. That's it. Not no $100, not no $150 per song, not no $300 in a lung, none of that. $5, you're on Next Icon Radio. Got me? Press kit. Make sure it's copyrighted. Be independent. I got you. Oh, the fourth thing, Promote the radio station. If I put you on there, let people know that you're on there so that they can tune in and hear you on the radio. I support you, you support me. That's how this works. Got me? What else is there? Um, Moshe. I'm in the process of filming another web series entitled Moshe and a series called Atlanta's Ugly 2.0. Make sure that you pay attention to those. Check YouTube out for the Moshe trailer. It's Mosheh by the Blackbirds Melody Network. Check it out. There's not a trailer for Atlanta's Ugly 2.0 yet, but it will be coming. Stay tuned for that. Starting April 1st, I will be looking for people to feature on the show. Listen to me. I will be looking for people to feature on the show. Whether you're in entertainment, whether you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you do that is legal, moral, ethical, this will be your opportunity to be seen and to be heard on the Icon Chronicles beginning April 1st. I have 4 people, excuse me, I have 4 groups of people that will be appearing. There will be Tanya Lady T. Wilson of Sassy But Classy. There will be writer, director, actor Chadrick Whitmire. I always screw his name up. Chadrick Whitmire. The cast from What Depth Do We Part? And there was a 4th person. See, I lost my train of thought trying to get Chad's name right. But if you want to be on the show and you want to talk about your business or your project or your music, what have you, the Icon Chronicles at gmail.com. Send your information there and I will get back to you. You will get a confirmation email. We're working on that now, but you will get a confirmation email. And our interviews will be starting in April. Well, I'm saying April 1st, but whatever the first Monday in April is when we're going to have our first interview. And it's going to be somebody interviewed. I haven't decided if it's going to be every Monday or every other Monday. It depends on how I feel at the time. But starting the first Monday in April, we will have our first official guest on the Icon Chronicles. Now, you've been here where we've had Joe Black from the Omni Committee and Tammy Bailey from from CMOS Differently. And she's a talented actress and producer herself. She did a show called Atlanta's Sweetheart, Date or Break, the DM edition. So you've seen both of them on the show. Starting the first Monday in April, we're going to have some new guests. So make sure that you tune in and check that out. Let me see. For those of you that can't watch the Icon Chronicles because you're at work or driving, guess what? The Icon Chronicles is now on Anchor. And Anchor takes the Icon Chronicles and it puts it on Spotify. So you can look up the Icon Chronicles on either Anchor or on Spotify, and you don't even have to take your eyes off the road. You can listen to it through your headphones or through your radio if such is possible. You can listen to the Icon Chronicles at your leisure through Anchor or through Spotify. How's that? Let me see what else. So, well, all of that being said, and I hope everybody got all the notes and everything. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the topic of discussion for tonight. And the topic of discussion for tonight is the smoke between the trees. Where did I come up with this? It came up from a post that I put up today. Because the post was, it's funny how people can't see the smoke between the trees, even when the trees are bent. What does that mean? It means that people keep putting themselves into situations, even though they see clearly That is not the right situation. They put themselves in bad relationships when they see that it's not going to work, that it's toxic. But they want to see so bad the good in someone that they will sacrifice their mental stability, their physicality, their physiological well-being to be in something that was clearly shown to them was not in their best interest. Again, you can see the smoke between the trees, even if the trees are bent. Why did I say because they're bent? Because when the trees are bent, if you're in a forest and the trees are bent, that means that you have a clear view of what's in front of you. The trees are not blocking you. The leaves are not blocking your sight. You have a clear vision of what it is that's in front of you. And some of us choose that even though we know that it's going to be the one of the worst decisions that we make, we still intend on making that decision. And then we want to blame everybody else because we made the bad decision. But most of us that saw what was coming, and that knew what was going to happen and tried to warn you what was going to happen, you ignored us. We didn't know what we were talking about. We always trying to get in your way and you trying to come up. We always trying to sabotage your happiness. We ain't doing none of that. You're doing that yourself. You're sabotaging your own happiness. You're sabotaging your own well-being because you are insisting on seeing something that is not there. You rely on people that are unreliable, and you know that they're unreliable. You know that they're irresponsible. You know that they don't think of anyone but themselves, but yet you continue to put yourself in their presence expecting something different. This is the definition of insanity because it does drive you crazy. But it shouldn't drive you crazy because you knew what you were walking into when you walked into it, and you still chose to close your eyes and walk into it as if you were blind, but you saw the whole picture. The trees were bent, the smoke signal was clear. You chose to ignore the signs. Now you have to accept responsibility for the choice that you made, and that's not on us. Ain't nobody gonna ask us why we made that decision. It's gonna fall on you because you made it. Now, there's always the explanation, well, it's family. Well, it's my friend. Well, it's this. It's a relative. It's something. Sometimes family and friends can be the worst people to rely on. Again, the trees are bent. What's it, that song? It's an old song. Oh man, I can't remember what the guy's name is. So I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. You see the obstacles. You see the pitfalls. You see the traps, and you run right to them. See, if people know that they can bait you, if they figured out what it is that makes you tick, that makes you respond, they're going to do that. And they're going to continue to do it because you continue to allow it. At some point in time, it's got to kick in to your mental to say, stop. I've had enough. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm not doing it anymore. This isn't anything. This is at your job. This is in your family. This is with your friends. This is in your relationships. At some point in time, you have to say that you have had enough and that you are done. So you keep thinking that you're going to change people because you're in their life or because you do this for them or because you do that for them. A person is not going to change unless they want to change. They're not going to be a better person or want to be a better person until they want to be, until they feel that they're ready to be. And there's nothing that you're going to do. There's not enough love in the world that you can give. There's not enough money that you can spend. There's not enough food that you can feed them. There's not enough that you can do for them that they're going to change that. It has to come from within, not from without. We jump into these relationships so quick with all of this technology that we have. We jump into relationships so quick without looking at somebody's background. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on Instagram. You can go and look up anybody that you want to and see there's always signs. There's always some kind of flag, whether it's red, green, yellow, purple, brown, black, whatever you want to call it. There's a flag somewhere to indicate what type of person that you are going to be dealing with or that you are dealing with. Again, trees are bent. Point in case. I met a young lady online once a few years ago. Very beautiful young lady. We talked on the phone. We text each other. She lived down in southern Georgia. I want to say Valdosta, but I can't. I think that's where it was, or somewhere close to Valdosta. And everything seemed like it was right. But for some reason, something told me to look her up online. So I Googled her while we were talking. This this woman had charges of identity theft, credit card fraud, check fraud, some a couple other type of fraud charges. But the impression that she, but the showcase that she was giving to me was that she was sweet, demure, looking for a good man, and maybe she was, but she was leaving out very important information that I needed to know. I bent the trees because I saw the smoke signals, and it's kind of blurry. So I had to clear some branches out so I could see what the smoke was saying. The smoke was saying, "Hell no." There's too much information out here for you to not research. There's too much information out here. There's too much technology out here for you to be walking blindly into a situation that you should know well enough to not walk into. It's at the point that now it seems like that nobody out here has basic. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. There's some people out here that are running around here that literally have no common sense. They just out here. They just winging it and hoping for the best. They see the red flag, they fold it up, bend it off to the side where so they can't see it out the peripheral. They can't see it in front of their face. They can't see it below them. They can't see it. They're moving it out the way so they can't see it. Life has a way of bringing the truth out to you. Our it's said, and it's always been said growing up. Whatever's kept in the dark will come to the light. But the problem is, and this, I mean, this is all well and true, but the problem is that even when the light comes on, some of y'all still refuse to see. Not can't see, you don't want to see. You refuse to see. You refuse to acknowledge what's right in front of your face. The trees are bending, and you over there trying to straighten the trees back up so that you can't see. So that way you have somebody to blame outside of yourself for your bad decision. And this is again for everybody. It's not gender specific. It's not racial specific. It's all inclusive because we all know somebody that we've said, "Yo, don't do this. Yo, you're making this mistake. Yo, this is not the right thing to do." And they look at us and those little sad puppet dog eyes, but I have to do this. I have to go and see what happens, even though I know what's going to happen and I've seen it happen before so many times. But this time is going to be different, and it still turns out to be the same. Sometimes it's funny that people can't see the smoke between the trees, even when the trees are bent. We keep putting our hopes and our goals and our ideas in the hands of people that have no idea what to do with them. Number one, because it's not theirs. So they have no concept of how it's going to work, what it's going to do, how it's supposed to turn out. They have no concept because it's not theirs. So they don't know what to do with it. And they're going to pussyfoot around. They're going to dilly dally around. They're going to be lazy about it because it's not theirs. And some of us are still sitting here waiting for that person to come through. We still waiting for that miracle to come out of the blue that that the lightning bolt is going to strike on them, and all of a sudden they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I need to go do it because I said that I would do it." And look, one of the things that I've learned in this travel, in this journey, is you can't wait. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody, and time does not stop for any man or woman or child. Time continues to go. And if you're going to constantly put yourself in a position where you're waiting for someone to do something or to come through or to hold up their end, you will be waiting. Especially when you know that this person has a track record. You've seen it, you've experienced it. What makes you think that they're going to treat you any different than they do anybody else with the same thing? What's a priority to you is not a priority to everybody. And we see it. We walk through it. We go through it. It's a trial. It's a tribulation. It's a challenge. It's a test. It's whatever you want to call it. But we all go through it because we want so hard to believe in the person that we trusted this bit of information to. We want to believe it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having that belief. But at the same time that you have that belief, you also have to understand the reality of the situation. There are people out here that are not responsible. There are people out here that are not dedicated. There are people out here that are not committed. We know them. No matter how many chances that we give them, they never come through. When are you going to get to the point where you say that enough is enough? When are you going to stand up and look through the forest and look through the bent trees and clearly see the smoke that's telling you move on? The signs are there. Now, again, I'm not telling you to not have faith in your people. I'm not telling you to not have faith in your family. I'm not telling you to not have faith in your friends. I'm not telling you to not have faith in your relationship. Faith is a good thing. But even with faith, there comes a reality. There's always a reality that has to be dealt with. Now, I pride myself on being as committed and as loyal and as dedicated as I possibly can be. But even not infallible. But with me, my thing is I have to at least try. I can't just say that I'm going to do it and then just don't do it. I have to try. I have to see for myself whether or not that I can or I cannot. And the only way that I can tell that is by attempting to do it. But I'm not a perfect person. I'm not 100%. I can say it all day long that I'm 100% loyal, that I'm 100% dedicated, that I'm 100% committed. I can say that because in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, I am. I will do the best that I can to come through no matter what. But sometimes life does get in the way. Circumstances beyond our control. That's understandable. But when you are around people that you know for a fact are going to leave you stranded on that street corner or lost in the woods by yourself, why are we continuing to give them a pass? What? Because their feelings are going to be hurt? Because they're going to feel some kind of way? Let me ask you a question. When you asked them to do something for you and they didn't do it, weren't your feelings hurt? Didn't you feel some kind of way? So which one is more crucial? Their feelings or yours? Your desire to achieve your goal or their lack of desire to help you achieve your goal? And see, people say, well, I don't want them to be mad at me. I don't want them to be unhappy. You're going to be mad. You're going to be unhappy. Which one is more important? See, as you start to progress in your goal, as you get closer to bringing your idea to life, there are people here that are not going to be able to go with you. As bad as you want them to be there, and as strong as you want to hope that they come along with you for the ride, they're not. They're not going to be able to. It's what growth is. It means that you're dropping some things off to leave behind. Everybody can't go with you. And that's going to piss somebody off. That's going to hurt somebody's feelings. But they also have an option. They can raise up if they truly down for you and they truly have your back. They're going to raise up. And you're not going to have to ask them to raise up. It's going to be an automatic thing because you shouldn't have to ask anybody to raise up to do something that should be natural if they are truly down for you, if they truly got your back. And again, look back through your history. We're all guilty of looking between the trees, those bent trees in the forest. We all guilty of looking in there and seeing what we walking into, and we continue to walk right to it and fall flat on our face. And well, like they do in the Charlie Brown commercial when Lucy holds the football for Charlie Brown and he runs up there to kick it, and just as he gets close, she snatches the ball away and he flips up and lands on his back. We've all done that. But when do we stop doing that? When do we stop letting Lucy pull the ball from in front of us? This is a song in my background playing right now. Prince, Scandalous. The perfect song for what I'm talking about because some people are scandalous in their actions, in their perceptions, in their attitudes pertaining to you. Stop just looking through the bent trees in the forest. If you can see it and it don't look good, change direction. And in changing direction, you may have to cut some people off. In changing direction, you might have to leave some people behind. In changing your direction, a whole lot of things may happen that are not going to be pleasing to a lot of people. But you're not here to please anybody. You're not here to please everybody. And you are not, as much as you want to, and as much as you try, you are not going to make everybody happy. Even the happiest person is going to find some fault. It's never going to be 100% that somebody's going to like you. It's never going to be 100% that somebody's going to hate you. But you're going to have somebody on both sides of the line. But you have to figure out which is the priority. Because neither one of those should be the priority. The main focus and the main priority should be you, your goal, your idea, your path. The only thing that you're responsible for on your journey of progress and elevation is to leave a trail behind so that somebody else can follow. That's it. That's your only responsibility on this journey is to progress and to leave a trail. How many of y'all can see the smoke between the trees? How many of y'all can see clearly when the trees are bent? Because see, the reason that the trees are bending is because they're trying to make you see extremely clear what's going on. See, you saw the smoke through the trees, and you was trying to navigate through there to try and see where the smoke was coming from. The tree said, "Here, let me help you." That's it. All you do is look, see what's over there, see if it's worth your time, see if it's worth your effort, see if it's worth your energy. And if it's not, you also have an option. You have the option to walk away. It's time to start walking away. If that relationship is not working, it's time to walk away. If you see the smoke signals and they warning you and the trees are starting to bend to make it clear to you, it's time to walk away. If that job is not fulfilling anymore, if you have it in your heart and your spirit to go and start your own business, to do something different, the trees are bending for you to see. Walk away. Start your business. I say this pretty much on every show. Whatever it is that you say that you want to do, you are the person that has to start it. If you want to write a book, you have to start writing the first words. If you want to act, you have to be the one to show up to the auditions. You have to be the one to learn the lines. If you want to start a business, you are the one that has to get the paperwork together. You are the one that has to get the idea together for what kind of business that you want. The rest of us are spectators. The only thing that any of us can do is offer our opinion. But the final decision of what you choose to do is your own. And once you make that decision, you've chosen to accept whatever consequences, whether good or bad, goes along with that decision. Relationship, you choose to walk away from that abusive relationship. Yes, you may have a period of loneliness. You may have a period of depression. You may have a period where you think that you might have made the wrong decision, but consider the alternative. Especially to my women out here. You got dudes out here that are killing y'all in these relationships, literally beating you to death. And it's not just physically, they're beating you to death mentally, they're beating you to death psychologically, they're beating you to death spiritually. The trees can't bend any more than what they're bending for you to see where that's going to lead to. You have an option to walk away. And sometimes being lonely is better than getting your ass beat. And I'm sorry for putting it that way, but sometimes you just have to call it what it is. Now, just because that's what you've gone through and it's what you've seen and it's what you've seen other experience, that don't mean that that's for you. You have the ability to change that. You have the wherewithal and the mind to get up and say that enough is enough and walk away. Stop trying to pick up the branches and try and block the signs that are being shown to you. Take your destiny into your hands and create something out of it better than what you had, better than what you were going through. Let those bent trees be your pathway to something better. Let the smoke through the trees be the clouds that lift you up to your next level. And again, if you have to leave some people behind, if you have to cut some people off, so be it. If it's really that important for them to be around you, they will adjust. They will raise up and they won't drag you down. But again, it's funny to me. I'm gonna keep saying this because eventually it's gonna register in somebody's head. I'm gonna say this again. It's funny how people can see the smoke between the trees, even when the trees are bent. You keep asking for a sign, there's your sign. What are you going to do with it? See, the life that you give, no, I'm sorry, the life that you have was given to you. It was given to you to do something with, to make something out of, not to put in somebody else's hands that can't even control or dictate their own life or their own steps or their own breath. But they find solace in controlling yours, dictating to you what you can and can't do, what you can and can't achieve, what you can and cannot have. The only person that has that ability and that has that power is you over you. Nobody should have that power. And if you're giving that power to somebody, the time is now to take it back. The time is now to declare your freedom from that tyranny that controls your life. That tyrant that thinks that he has sole domination and dominion over you. Smoke signals are there. Trees are bending. Opening your eyes. Can you see clearly now? Can you see the obstacles that are in your way? Because if you can see the obstacles that are in your way, you can conquer the obstacles that are in your way. Because even an obstacle that is unseen, for it to affect you, has to make itself seen. We all go through obstacles. We all go through difficulties. We all go through hard times. You're not going to find anybody around you that has not gone through hard times. You're not going to find anyone around you that has not seen the smoke through the trees. You're not. Unless it's a kid, maybe. But here, at this point, like we don't even know what the kids are seeing and what the kids are going through. Raise up. Get your little machete, little axe or something. Start knocking some of them trees down and put you together a bridge. What's the song? A bridge over troubled waters. Build you a bridge over them troubled waters so you can get out of it and stop drowning. Because people that are around you are going to do, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to break you down and hold you down, break you down and hold you back, or they're going to build you up. And if they're not building you up, you don't need them. And again, their actions are going to show. They can say one thing, but their actions are going to be something totally different. Everybody that's your friend is not your friend. Everybody that says that they have your back don't have your back, and the ones and some of the ones that do have your back is for their own interest. And if it does not fulfill their best interest, that support is short lived. Because we have a lot of opportunists in and around us. And y'all know the ones that I'm talking about. And we laugh and we joke about them on Facebook and on Instagram. We laugh and joke about them because they always watching. They can't stand us, don't like us, but just in case we step over them bent trees, and just in case we step on that right cloud of smoke to raise us up, they want to make sure that they somewhere close by, just a little bit. Look around you, and it's not always the ones that's right in your face either. But there's people that are around us that don't want us to succeed, that don't want us to achieve our goals, that don't want us to bring our ideas to life. They don't want that, but just in case it does happen, they want to be right there to say that they was somewhere close by when it happened, so they can say they was a part of it some kind of way. We see them, and most of us know who they are. The fake smiles, the little pat on the back, the little pat on the back that might kind of make you itch a little bit. They just don't feel quite right. And you try and smile through it, but you know in your heart and in your spirit that it was something just off about that pat on the back. That's that smoke through the trees. We call it intuition. A lot of us ignore it. Pay attention. I love making song references because I love music. What's the song? Says smiling faces. Sometimes you might remember that one. If you don't remember it, look at it. It's called Smiling Faces. What was it? The OJ's Backstabbers? Look it up. Listen to the song. Listen to what he's saying. People coming to his so-called friends coming to his home. They always come to his home when he gone, trying to holler at his woman. Backstabbers. We all know somebody like that, but we keep them around because that's our buddy. That's our friend. It's our road dog. Even though the trees is bent all the way down to the ground and that smoke is smacking you in the face, and you see, yo, cut this. It's time to cut it off. Let these folks be mad at you. Let them be in their feelings. I would rather them be in their feelings than me be in mine. Or does that not make sense to anybody? If that relationship ain't working, the signs are there. Pay attention. I mean, what do the trees got to do? They got to bend over and then snap back up and pop you upside the head. The smoke got to choke you before you catch on. It's funny how people can see the smoke between the trees, even when the trees are bent. Understand what you're living in. Understand your circle. Understand your steps. Understand your path. We got to change the way that we deal with some folks. We got to quit worrying about what they going to think. Let them think that you bougie. Let them think that you uppity. Let them think that you better than everybody else. That's their problem. That's their insecurity because they're complacent with where they are and they expect you to be complacent where you are with them. This is not a world, place, or time of complacency. It's time for you to get out here and get what's yours. It's time for you to raise up and do what you have to do for yourself. Go for whatever it is, again, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical. Because I don't want nobody here talking about I told y'all to go rob no bank. I ain't tell y'all to go out here and rob no drug dealers. I ain't tell y'all to do none of that. I said legal, moral, and ethical. Dreams, goals. Smoke is rising and the trees are bending. What you gonna do? How many strings are you gonna let keep you tangled up in the branches of them trees before you decide that it's time to cut them loose and raise up to your full potential of what you're here to do, of what you're here to accomplish? Stop denying yourself the right to dream and stop letting people convince you that you can't have it and that you don't deserve it and that you're not worthy of it. None of us are in a position to make that call. Now, I tell people all the time, I'm not a biblical person, but I do know that it does say to judge not lest ye be judged. We're not in a position to judge each other. We're supposed to help each other because the person that you help hopefully will reach back and help you. And in turn, you reach back and help somebody else. And that's the way that it's supposed to go. Each one teach one. Reach one, teach two, teach folk, teach more. That's the way it's supposed to work. But in order for you to do that, you're gonna have to cut some people off. Some of them strings is caught up in them trees. Some of them vines, they're gonna have to be cut. You're the only person that can do that. We can't, because they're not our strings. They're not our vines. The trees are bending. There's the smoke. What you gonna do? So that's my speech for today. The smoke through the trees. It's there. Make you move. Before I close out tonight, I got like 1 minute left. Before I close out, I want to say rest in peace to the following people. Cyman Baby, who radio personality here in Atlanta that passed away recently. Johnny Brown, and many of those, if you remember back in the day from Good Times, he was Bookman. He passed away at age 84. Richard Pratt from Blue Magic, way back in the day. Anybody that remembers the old school R&B group, Blue Magic, they had the song called Sideshow. He also passed away. So rest in peace to these folks. Look, Don't let your dreams die. Don't let your goals go unfulfilled. If you have to cut people off in order to get them, do what you have to do for the betterment of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are what counts. Next week is going to be expectations and appreciation. Tune in next week. I'm going to have another one for you. Y'all have a good one. This is your man, Next Icon. Again, I don't even think I told y'all what it means again. I usually do that at the beginning of the show. No excuses. I can overcome negativity. That is a spirit that lives in all of us. Because we've all gone through some negativity that we've had to overcome. If I can do it, so can you. Okay, maybe that was wrong. If I can do it, so can you. Y'all have a great week. I will see y'all next Monday. Expectations and appreciation. Tune in, see what I got to say about that. Y'all have a great one. Peace.
These niggas wanna play with me, thinking they playing